So, got a new project car. Check it out. So yeah, the new project car. It is a 2002 E46 BMW M3. Now the car is a SMG, which is like an automatic, but not quite. I'm gonna make another video, probably the next video actually, where I drive the car and kind of give my initial thoughts of how it drives, especially how the SMG drives. It's very unique transmission, but I wanted it that way because, you know, I wanted to get that sequential F1 type feel. So I actually wanted an SMG. Again, I know it's not manual. People are probably gonna, you know, roast me for it, but is what I wanted. And I am probably never ever going to financially recover from this because this car is significantly more than the final cost of the Miata was. But you know what? I've never had a German car in my entire car life career. So, you know, this will be a fun experience, hopefully. So yeah, here it is. And we're gonna go ahead and go over everything that I know of so far that is wrong with my project BMW M3. Now, starting with the body, this, again, I can't believe it, but this is a, you know, this is almost a 20-year-old car, believe it or not. And yeah, it's definitely showing a little bit of its age. We see on the trunk, obviously, the clear coat, it's peeling. It's not in the best condition, and that's not the only place where we're seeing this. Let me see here, quarter panel, not too bad. Driver door, not too bad. Fenders, okay. Looks like most of that damage is there. We have a little bit of, oh no, that might be the clear bra that's on this, which is super old and cracking and peeling, so that's gonna be fun to take that off. The door, yeah, the door's having a little bit of clear coat here. So initially I was actually thinking about vinyl wrapping this car, but the thing with vinyl wrap is you also have to have a really good base, you know, paint underneath for it to stick and adhere well. You know, it's just so far I'm only seeing the trunk and that door. Maybe, you know, it might be worth just kind of doing a bit of a repair and then wrapping it. Or maybe, I don't know, a little bit here on the rear quarter panel too. It sucks that you probably got to redo the entire panel. I don't know, let me know. Should I repaint the car back to a silver color and then wrap it? Or should I just go big and change the entire color of the car? Let me know and we'll see. You know, when we cross that bridge, we'll make the decision. But overall, the body, I'm not seeing any dents on the car. Just, you know, again, that clear coat damage and the clear bra, but you know, there's no major dents. I mean, we got some like ugly grill from eBay that are like kind of falling apart. We'll probably have to replace that with maybe some better eBay ones. And then this ugly ass like grill right here. I don't know what's going on here, but that's gonna have to get addressed. But again, overall, you know, the body pretty dent free. You know, so the headlights don't look so bad. You know, these side markers are kind of yellowing out, but you know, those are pretty easy to replace. This is a 2002, so this was before a body update. So these old bulbed lights, you know, maybe we'll replace those with some LED tail lights. You know, again, overall, it's not too bad. We have wheels. These are awesome. These are, oh, let me go to a better side that's lit up. Yeah, these wheels, they're not bad. These are SSRs. So, you know, what's really cool about this car is that it came with a lot of parts that I'll go through in this video that kind of make it a really good deal. And at the end of the video, I'll reveal how much I paid for it, and you can let me know if that was a good deal or not. But we got SSRs. The previous owner changed out the hub, so they're not running bolts anymore, they're running studs. So instead of like 5x120 wheels that the stock car uses, we're on 5x100s. These are 275 wide Nitto NT01 tires, which is a pretty sweet deal. 275/18 all the way around. It's gonna be a little expensive. These, I don't know if you can see the wear, but we probably got maybe about one track day on these before they might go. So hopefully we can get at least one track day out of these tires. Brakes, rolling on 6-piston, I believe, Stop Tech. Pretty cool. I don't know brake pad wear. Hopefully we got some brake pads left because yeah, this significantly increases the price in terms of replacing the brakes, but we got stop techs on them. Huge rotors on these as well, so definitely not gonna have a problem stopping. Moving on to underneath the car. Don't know if you can see it. I mean, right off the bat, we got this Racing Dynamics exhaust. I'll play a clip of that, how that sounds. The Racing Dynamics exhaust is also connected to a mid pipe that is running 2 cats, no resonators, and we're also running catless headers. So it sounds a little bit raspy. Maybe that'll be a future project to try to get out that rasp, but you know, we got a full exhaust system on it, so that's pretty cool. Although I'm gonna have to be fixing the smog issues, but you know, hey, race car, right? All right, so continuing on with the chassis, we got a lot of good suspension bits on this car. You know, cool, aftermarket strut bar, oh, that's cool. We also have Bilstein coilovers all around. We also, I guess we got these Turner Motorsports, like top hats, I guess. But on top of the coilovers, we also got ground control, suspension arms. There's no more rubber in the suspension bushings. They all got replaced. One of the big 3 on M3s has been also taken care of, which is the rear subframe reinforcement. So they welded on the plates and everything like that. So we're good on that. That's a pretty solid deal. Since we're here, let's go ahead and move on to the engine. So this engine is 180K on the clock. It's pretty high mileage, but I got some buddies out there that are running, you know, E46 race cars, and they race hard every week. They got the same mileage. You know, you take care of these cars, they'll last you a long time. The only problem is maintenance is expensive. So, you know, maybe most people don't really keep up with it, but if you keep up with it, they can last a long time. Engine wise, again, 180K on the clock. The big 3, rear subframe, Vanos, which is like their version of like VTEC, rod bearings. I'm gonna run a Carfax to see if we had the rod bearings done. It wasn't done by the previous owner, and there was one more owner before that had it for a majority of this life. So I'm gonna double check that to see if the rod bearings were done. But rod bearings, unknown. Vanos, also unknown. So those are gonna be the 2 maintenances that we're gonna have to do on this car, just so that we can, you know, push it on the track without any fear of, you know, blowing it up. But we got an intake AFE. That's cool. Nice little bargain there. I already mentioned that we have the exhaust, the headers, and yeah, that'll be pretty much it for the motor. But you know, it still runs healthy. It's just these maintenance that I want to do to it is just so that we can thrash it on the track without any problems and any worries. All right, moving on into the interior. It's not too bad. The seats are in pretty decent condition for how old this car is. Yeah, a little cracked, but again, you know, this is 20 years old, 180K on it, but they're not bad. Might want to replace them because they do not hold me in very well. The car came with this, you know, racing harness. Don't necessarily agree with how it's been mounted because at an angle, if I were to get into an accident, this would completely crush my collarbone. So that's pretty much a throwaway, and I wouldn't call that a perk. But the interior is pretty good. No rips, no tears, even on the seat. These power seats, rather. Not bad, but I also don't care for it, so I might switch out the seats to something a little bit more grippier. Steering wheel is okay. You know, we might redo the leather on here with something a little bit cooler. I mean, I don't know, maybe I might want to carbon fiber these little plastic panels and stuff, but got a little carbon fiber trim. I don't know if you can see it, but we got some carbon fiber trim here. Harman Kardon sound system. We have a little bit of wear on the interior, but you know, that'll be a project in its own. Maybe we'll carbon fiber wrap these, clean it up a little bit. Overall though, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I give it like maybe a 6 or a 7, which is again, not that bad. Shift knob, it's not supposed to be yellow. That's supposed to be clear, I think. So there's definitely some damage, so we'll probably replace that. The radio, so it's a GPS unit, which is pretty slick. Problem is, it's 2002 technology, so might switch that out to something a little bit more modern. And also there's like a burn mark in it, like some pixels are missing, so probably gonna definitely replace that. I also need a backup camera. Come on, I got one in the Miata, I gotta get one in the Beamer, so we'll probably do that. Sunroof, it works. You know, believe me, but I'm never gonna use it, so what's the point? We got some peeling fabric in the back, but that should be easy enough to fix, right? I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a common issue a lot, but the seat belts, watch when we pull them down, they are very slow to retract. But I mean, that's not, I mean, it still works, so it's not that big of a deal, but That's kind of annoying, I guess. But yeah, interior is pretty good. We got some, you know, I got some ideas flowing that I might want to do just to, you know, make it feel a little bit more race car, but not sacrificing the luxury that is a BMW M3. Also, I don't know, is this a BMW thing? But why does every old BMW smell like crayons? This is so cool. A straight 6 with an 8,000 RPM red line. Okay, so let's take a look at the Carfax report. Turns out I'm actually the 4th owner of this car and not the 3rd, but that's okay. The first owner drove about 20,000 miles a year, so he put a lot of miles on this car. Good thing, clean title, no accidents. And that's pretty much all that the Carfax told me. I was hoping that it was going to give me a little bit more info on the maintenance, like if the vanos or the rod bearings were done. But unfortunately it doesn't. All it really says is, you know, maintenance or vehicle inspected. Pretty generic stuff. Haha, but the good thing about the Carfax is that it's telling me that the car right now is worth $20,000. That's awesome. Alright, so let's take a look at the maintenance records that the previous owner was able to provide. He did a pretty good job of keeping track of everything. So it looks like he got the car around 140,000 miles, and at 142,000 miles, he did a big one. Replaced the transmission, some suspension arms. Oh, this is interesting. There's a custom diff from Differentials Online installed, so that's pretty cool. He also started to report that the floor is breaking out of car. And that's pretty much when they did the subframe reinforcement kit. They billed him 20 hours for this. Cost him about $1,800 to get the subframe reinforced. But all in all, that maintenance totaled out to be $13,450 in parts and labor. About $4,000 of that was the transmission, and about $3,000 of that was the differential. Also at 142K, maybe a few hundred miles later, got some differential mounts replaced, got the AFE intake and the Racing Dynamics exhaust installed, and some more suspension bushings, totaling out to $3,600, give or take. Then at 149,000, we got some Beamer World control arms, some other suspension bits, $2,800. At 152,000 miles, we got the JP Performance headers installed. Those are $2,000 for the headers and $1,000 for the labor. Man, they billed him 10 hours to do headers. That's crazy. Did they really take that long to do? Anyway, moving on, we got spark plugs. Looks like he got a tune for the car and a new air sensor. So about $4,200 for that service. And axles replaced, exhaust hangers, wheel studs, and a quarter balance. So that's about $1,600. At 169,000 miles, we got an EGT sensor replaced, and he replaced the whole steering rack as well, apparently, and got some new tires. So that service ran about $3,600. At about 178,000 miles, so we're getting pretty close to where I have it now. We had brakes changed, we got some Porterfield race pads, and yeah, basically a full brake change was done, and some more suspension bushings. Man, I feel like he's replaced all the suspension bushings constantly, but yeah, we got some more suspension bushings replaced. All in all, $2,300 for that service. Moving on to about 178, closer to 180,000 miles, we had a compression test done. Looks pretty good. We got 175 to like 190 across all the cylinders, so that looks really healthy. And then some random stuff like electrical switches, etc. All the O2 sensors were replaced apparently. That cost $1,800 in parts and labor. And hold on, if we total all of this up, it roughly looks like the previous owner spent about $40,000 in maintenance and some upgrades. So yeah, I think $12,500 seems like a pretty decent deal. Alright, that's going to be a wrap on today's video. I'm really super excited to start on the Project M3, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't to follow the rest of this build. I also got some really cool Miata videos, so make sure to check them out as well on the channel. Appreciate you. See you on the next one. Peace.